So I still have it in the studio someplace. So
You got to break it out. You got to see what you can make on that right now.
yeah. I'd make a lot of wasted time. It's like it's just so funny how because it's all like to hook things up MIDI based. It takes so long. I mean, I still have the discs. Who knows if they still work? Like we're not even talking zip discs. We're talking like 3.5-inch floppies.
Yeah.
So you know what I would like to do? It would be great to get an Ensoniq EPS. Like I have an ASR 10, so I could use that. But just to get they modify Ensoniq EPSs like where you have like the SD card in there. It would be so cool to transfer all the old samples onto like an SD card and then just be because the sound of the old Ensoniq EPS was really cool. Like, I think it was the only. I think someone said it was like the only. I don't know, it was like 12-bit sampler. So that's what kind of gave my original stuff its defining sound.
That's so cool. That's so cool, and that's the kind of sound that you would never get on a DAW.
No, but the thing of it is, there's the other thing. Hold on, I'm going to load up. I have my laptop in front of me too. I had the one thing that I have to say about working in collaborations is like you always learn like different techniques from other artists. There was this one. What is it called? Hang on one second. I'm sorry for rambling. I drank a Red Bull and like now I'm like, I'm good. So but it's just good to be in contact with people. Where's the? I want to let me find this thing real quick. You might even have it already. Okay, the SP950. It's like a cheap plugin. And what it does, let me see if I could just pop it on here real quick. So it looks like this. So can I just switch it around? Oh, I'll just turn my phone around. So it basically allows you to, you run it on like a sample and it shows, it says 45 RPM and whatever. I mean, that's kind of what I did with the Ensoniq was like, okay, I'm running out of room. Let me play the record that's at 33 BPM at 45 and then when you play it lower, like like I said, when you slow it down, it like added an extra layer of wow, this sounds like rough, but that's what added to the sound. So you can do that. It also has like a filter on there, a gain, and like you can really mess with the sound and give it a raw feel if you want it less polished, basically. So someone showed me that, and
that sounds like it.
Yeah, so
that's a plugin that I definitely need to invest in.
Yeah. Here, it's SP950, and it was cheap when I bought it. So I think it was like $50 if that. Wave tracing is the name of the app. So what's that?
It's even got the fader. That's so cool.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely, simple thing that's worth the investment. Also, I don't know if you mess with it, but what I've been really enjoying is, I was bumming off of a friend who gave me, he had a UAD chassis for the UAD plugins. So I didn't have to like buy them, and I wasn't about to because I was like, I didn't have like $5,000, $10,000 worth of, to invest in in the hardware. But did you hear about they have UAD came out with Spark, which is a subscription service, and you get all the what do you call it? Their classic stuff, like all the compressors and choruses and EQs. It's a lot. Like it's not everything, but for me, I work simple, so I've been using the UAD 1176 76 compressor on a lot of vocals and stuff. They're great. So this way you don't have to spend thousands of dollars, and you don't need hardware for it. It goes right into your, like, as a plugin for Ableton.
Straight in the machine. Now, I have to check that out. I've subscribed to the Roland Cloud, so I've got my 909 and my 808s and all the kind of the old synths and stuff.
I'm spending so much money on these subscriptions that I barely use, like, just for a Juno. I got multiple versions of a Juno 160 between Arturia and that, but I'm like, I'm doing it all,
Do you ever find yourself recording just a couple of little bits from each version of the Juno and then going, which one's that?
You know what? I don't, because I'm too lazy. But I was even, I still, sometimes I'll still, the old Tal company, they did their version of
Yes.
it. And that was the
The
first one I
towel,
had.
you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And honestly, that one, I was going back to that for a while. I think when I updated
Mm.
my computer, for some reason I wasn't able to, bring over the Tal version. But now that I have the rolling cloud and everything, it's like, there's just so much to choose from. Sometimes it's better when you don't have so much to choose from. Like, you know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
forces you to be more creative. But I still pretty much work the same. Like it's all sample based more, and then I'll bring the bass lines in with the synths, So
Well, you created something that completely revolutionized the world. Your micro sampling, the way that you do that. Come on, the amount of people that you've inspired is ridiculous.
Thank you. I paid him to say that. So that's
No, we pay homage. We give flowers. That's what we do, Todd. We do this.
I could use some flowers. I could just money. Forget the flowers. Don't waste the money on flowers. Just give me the money direct.
Checks in the mail.
Yeah, exactly. So what else is going on with you?
I'm good, I'm good, just trying to balance the whole career and family thing at the moment. It's a fantastic time. I think, I'm in a space now in my career where I'm the happiest that I've ever been. I'm in a space in my personal life where I'm happiest that I've ever been. And I think it's just all testament to the power of good vibes, I think.
Great.
Dialing into that stuff that feeds you.
Yeah. Do you have, so you're married. Do you have kids?
Yes. 3.
That's intense. I think that's amazing. How old are they?
13, 10, and 5.
Wow. So you've been busy, and you're dealing with all of it now. You hit the teenage years. Bro,
yes. And so trust me, she hates me.
Oh, girl. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh.
It's all good. We'll get out the other end of it. It'll be fine. It'll be good.
I always say this, and it's like I give credit to anyone that's in this industry and is able to manage the wife and kids, like, to have it all, because it is a difficult thing to do when you're traveling and stuff, to juggle all of that. I love kids. I'm an uncle to a lot of people, but I could barely take care of myself. So the idea of having kids, I'm like, you know what? I'm 50. I'll pass. I helped raise my nephew. He's 31. Now he's going to be a father soon, and I'm going to be godfather to his firstborn. So I'm happy about that. But the idea of like,
kids.
No, I have no. Yeah,
you get to be uncle.
I have rabbits, is what I have. 2 rabbits, and you know what? They don't complain. They're easy. But you want to hear something funny though? It's terrible. Like, this is how bad of a father I'd be at this age. Like, they do the cutest thing where they get on their hind legs and beg for treats, but like one will come out and beg for a treat, and then like 5 minutes later the other one would come out. And I'm thinking to myself, couldn't you both just come out at the same time? I have to reach over to get the bag. That's how lazy I am. Like you're bitching about like these cute little animals. Like, wow, I got to feed you both at the same time. Like, could you imagine me as a dad? Terrible.
That wouldn't work. That would not work at all.
But I do love it's funny. My manager has 2 beautiful kids, and the youngest is like turning 4, and she's just, I love hearing like, Uncle Todd, play with me. It's like so cute.
But this is the thing, right? It feels like right now there's just this great vibe around music, around events, specifically around dance music, and the good vibes are back, which is it's a privilege to be in the position that I'm in right now, where I get to listen to a lot of music, I get to help a lot of artists with the radio stuff, I get to be an artist myself. It's just it's a great time to be alive. For
sure. No, I mean, listen, you know me. I don't think either one of us takes it for granted or has expectations. I mean, I think it gets exhausting. The ups and downs. I mean, the COVID thing. That was just like, it's like, I don't know about you. It was like, just signed the back catalog to Defected during the pandemic, and then like there was no touring, so it was just like, it was there was always these little roadblocks or barriers that keep the plan going and to throw a wrench in the system. But It's just like you just push forward, persevere, and try not to become embittered by any of it. And like I said, I feel the same. On that, I can resonate with what you're saying because it's the happiest I've been and the best I felt about myself in my whole career. And I'm like, and again, it's not always an uptick, but I just like you just sit back and enjoy. Like, oh, things are going really well. Let's sip it in, just thankful and enjoy it because, it does go in waves and it does go up and down, So, but after a while, you're just used to it. It's been 30 years for me and probably 30 years for you or more.
26 for me.
26.
You got 4 on me.
I just rounded it. I'm just like 30. I can't be bothered with what do you got going on for the night?
I'm going to head off to bed and very, very soon. I've currently got my dog next to me who is very much he's begging for a lot of strokes. So he's going to get some strokes and they're going to head off to bed.
That is
because tomorrow we've got playlist.
We got what?
We've got the playlist meeting for the radio station.
Ooh, very nice. Yeah, you know what? We should do another point. I want to start doing more lives or just ramble on, but like I would love to hear what goes on behind the scenes of working for Capitol, doing that, and what it's like to put together music for radio shows. It's such a powerful, thing to be able to work at a radio, and I love the idea. Like you said, it's like supporting other artists, helping younger artists, make names for themselves and get started in their careers and stuff,
100%. You tell me when and let's do it.
All right. Yeah, I'll reach out. Yo, wait, did I ever get your info? Like, have we ever exchanged information? I don't even know if we actually exchanged like numbers and, emails. I wouldn't recommend doing it on TikTok live, but
no, I'll DM you.
I will go to your Insta and I'll
DM your Insta.
Yeah, and phone number and email and stuff, and you can send me stuff and I'll send you stuff. I'm really eager to share the new music that I did, like because I really, me, it's like I just love creating and having, So, but I'll definitely send some stuff to you.
Please do.
Cool, brother. Cool. Well, thank you for coming on. We should do this more often, though.
100%. And listen, man, I appreciate you more than you will ever know. You have soundtracked so many moments in my life, and you continue to do so.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad to know you, and I have the utmost respect for you. You know that. So, like I said, so you can join me anytime on here and laugh at my dumb jokes. Makes me very happy. Wait, real quick, what kind of dog do you have?
A Lagotto Romagnolo.
Gesundheit. What I can't even. I can't even research that. What does it look like?
He's an Italian water dog. So my he's got really.
I spend the time in the water. I eat the pizza.
Exactly.
I'm a dog. A wolf.
His name's Macaroni, but get
Macaroni.
This, he's lactose intolerant.
All right. Well, on top of your information,
a lactose intolerant Italian dog called Macaroni.
A lactose intolerant dog. That's considering cheese is one of the best things for dogs. He's lactose intolerant. It's hysterical.
And he's called Macaroni.
Macaroni. Send me if you can send a picture on the direct message on Insta, and then write the name under it so I could research these dogs online because I can't remember how to spell 100%. That. So.
Yeah, no problem. I've got that. I've got you. Cool. Todd, stay blessed. I'll see you soon.
I'll speak to you soon, brother, and you have a wonderful night's sleep. Okay, with your macaroni.
Take care.
All right. I'll talk to you. Take care, buddy.
Bye-bye.
That was nice. I haven't gotten to spend time with him. Mr. Jam. Can I give you a shout? Lee said, Todd, I love you so much. Can you shout me out? I'll give you a shout. As you can tell, I just ramble on about stuff. So I'm going to go back into some of the questions and see what they said. Face to Face is still one of my favorite songs ever. You're the GOAT. Thank you, Ralph. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Saddest Night Out. I would love to know what the story is behind your name. To Run on Nothing. Thank you for so many decades of amazing house music. You are welcome. Thank you for following me. Big up love from the UK from JS. Good, Todd. I still got your vinyl. God will be there. So many good memories. Thank you to Run on Nothing. Ted Oddwards. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. Are you the originator of that name? Because was DJ producer. Okay, you're not. There was an MC that used to call me that. Me for treats, I said. Did they have any idea that you're a legend? No. Jose, what's going on, bro? Okay, let's try to keep up. I'm sorry I wasn't able to answer questions while I was talking to Mr. Jam, but it's nice. Torden Strike, what's going on? How are you? Working with some 3D renders, thinking of doing something Daft Punk related for the next one. Oh, very cool. You know any tracks like You Know the Future by the Archers? You sampled it in your track. It's crazy because it's just when I was sampling from vinyl, and even I wasn't keeping good track of the names of the artists I was sampling from, and the only ones I would remember were the artists that really stood out to me that I knew I was completely, taking stuff from their albums, Dan Fogelberg or the Carpenters, and I love jazz samples. Oh, Daniel Hansford, what's going on? Daniel is a sample hunter and a really good producer as well. Thank you, LC. I appreciate the compliment. Twin Sons of Different Mothers is an awesome album. Very cool. You know what I really want to do is I got to start revisiting the artists that I did sample from on vinyl, because Spotify's finally caught up with releasing all this good old material. I mean, it was such a pain in the neck when you're trying to find I want to find a Shaka Khan album, and I didn't know how many Shaka Khan. Back in the day, I wasn't really on you can do a quick search to find out someone's back catalog. Back then, even if you could do that, I wasn't really online that much when I was younger in the 90s. So it's you can, I keep forgetting to just go online, check out oh shit, Chaka has 10 albums out. I should go check what's on there. Electroma, thank you. Sorry if you've already been. No, you can ask whatever you want. I have no problem rambling on. Like I said, I drank a sugar-free Red Bull. I'm still kind of on LA time, so. Thank you, Daniel. I'm sorry I haven't been so available to chat lately on Facebook. I've been addicted to just wasting time, not even doing anything productive, just wasting time on TikTok. What was the record shops in New Jersey where you get vinyl back in the day? New Brunswick hardly had any. Well, I was up north, and I went to a place called not Strictly Rhythm, Crazy Rhythms. There was a guy at Crazy Rhythms that knew everything about house. He was the guy to go to. What was his name? I can't believe I forgot his name. That's terrible. Kenny. Just remembered. My brain works like a broken hard drive. The older I get, the more I forget stuff, and it's you have to kind of knock it just to get where I also started. There was a place this town over from me, Face the Music, and that started me on my journey into music, because there was a guy named Mario who worked there that introduced me to this Italian guy that I worked with briefly, that he was releasing something which got me into 111 East Records. And, and then there's this tapestry of, history that started there. What about Skepta reworking your tune? They did Skepta and Jamma did an amazing job on Shut the Door. Really excited about that. Got the Tron Legacy reconfigured vinyl last week. Such a cool vinyl. It's funny because I haven't collected vinyl since I've moved to LA. But there's there's a website called Download Soundtrack, and let me get it down there. Download soundtrack.com. And that they have everything. Like you know, basically you can get stuff for free. I mean, they have like unreleased versions of things. Like, you know, it's hard to get your hands on soundtracks, especially. Thank you, Lee. Love you too. But the thing of it is so say if you want an extended version of, I don't know, like, what's a good example? You know, like a lot of times they'll release 8 tracks or 10 tracks from a soundtrack, but it's not the full soundtrack. You can get the extended release of the soundtrack on this website because someone's uploading it. It just takes about probably like a couple hours to download it because it's like slow speed, and if you want it faster, you have to pay for. You know, I'm not paying for it. Lots of love from Liverpool. Thank you, Lee. I hope to get to Liverpool again soon. Is there any way you're coming to Mexico? Well, hopefully you're going to see a lot more South American, because I'm established with an American booking agent. My European booking agent has been kicking ass with getting me American bookings, and there's a long story about why I didn't have an American booking agent, but I finally have one. I wanted to do was to make John. Oh, that's cool. How do you say that? Sven Bjorn. That's cool to hear. I'll come to Minnesota. Like I said, I'm you know, it really comes down to I mean, and like I said, I'm a realist about things. Promoters, do you still use hardware samplers or switch to DAW? I switched to DAW for Ableton. In fact, I have it here on my computer right here already. So, you know, but just to let you know how it works. I mean, obviously, you know, promoters book DJs based on the idea that they feel that they can, you know, make money off them, pack the house with them. So, the idea is, you know, I'll come to Minnesota, but it's just a matter of having a promoter that's like, hey, I want to get Todd Edwards out here. And whether it's because they're a fan of the work or they think that I can make the money, you know. So with, how did you feel the first time you heard DeLacy's Hideaway? I loved it. The first time I heard it was on a mixtape that my friend Rich made, who is the guy that got me into house music. Deep Dish is epic. I love playing their mix of Sandy B's Make My World Go Round. I've been to Norway before. I'd love to come back. Been digging into the samples you used in the Sea Line Woman remix. So weird, Daniel, because I was with Majestic, DJ Majestic, and he was bringing up the Sea Line Woman remix I did. And I haven't spoken about that remix for a long time. Luis Bernal, what's going on, bro? I need to beg my promoters in Salt Lake City. I mean, the OG garage culture is growing. Well, like the point being, I hope you wouldn't have to beg the promoter to bring me there. That would be sad. It's like, I don't want to bring him. He's fuck Todd Edwards. You know? You make most of your living touring. It's a combination. The thing of it is after you know, downloading music became a thing and everyone just wanted stuff for free, that made it very impossible to make music as the primary way of making money. Like, you know, at first I was just, you know, I consider myself a producer that just played his own music when he DJ'd. It took years for me to really embrace the DJing thing. And I consider myself a DJ now. For years, I didn't consider myself a DJ, but DJing supports the operation. It really does. Electroma, you are a #1 fan of the Odyssey album. Well, I listen to it all the time. So excited for Return. Yeah, I hope you like Return to Odyssey. I did put a lot of love into it and changed a few things around, added some drums here and there, changed one track to make it more rock sounding. Where Are You is like I completely revamped. Agony, though I remastered it, I did a version it's orchestra music, which I think adds a little more depth to the album. So it's not just all dance tracks across the board. Thank you, Jack. I feel good about the chant too. It's funny how like, certain tracks just come together really quickly and you don't even think about it. Like I never expected the chant to do as well as it did. I'm glad it did. Thank you, Lee, about new trends. What's the rarest sample that you used? Thank you, Daniel. What's the rarest sample that I've used? I mean, what's rare really? Like, I've used, obscure, I find, like I said, I would just go to flea markets and buy records and stuff. I mean, I sampled, I've sampled samples from some guy did a Hare Krishna album that sang music about there was like that religion. And just to let you know, it's not that I wouldn't like to bring people into the live, but the first time that I went live and brought people in, it turned into like one of those challenges, things like I can't be bothered with that, like, yay, more likes. So I'm keeping it like this. So this way I can talk to you by answering questions with the sound system. I don't know. Oscar, was the sound system really bad? I mean, it's hard to tell when you're in the booth because you have monitors right where you are. So, if it was sounding like shit in the audience, I apologize. Maybe, like I said, it wasn't loud enough on my end because I didn't hear it. Feel about being so silent, unpopular in America. But honestly, the thing of it is when I was very young, one of the goals I had was to have little Louis Vega play my tracks at the Sound Factory bar, and he wasn't really into my work, and I idolized them. And John Ciafone from Mood to Swing said, he's like, look, there's other territories, to have your music popular, not just New York. And I didn't think about that. And then there was this wonderful DJ named DJ Camacho that said, you're big in Italy. And I'm like, and I had friends joking with me. He's like, oh, Todd Edwards, Alitalia. And then all of a sudden stuff took off in England. And I was very thankful for that. The fact that I could do something 3,000 miles away in my bedroom from the main city where I was popular, I think it's quite a feat, and I felt really good about it. The stores in London did you frequent back in the day? I didn't really frequent a lot of record stores in London, but City Sounds is where I went to like do my signings and stuff. It was pretty quiet at WEA. Oh, I'm really sorry about it being so quiet. But I mean, I can't take full blame if it was quiet because the sound guys they're supposed to be taking care of that. But I hope you enjoyed the set nonetheless. Thank you, 1.6. You sang Fragments of Time. Yes, I did sing Fragments of Time. It is me. I love that song. I'm glad. I also sang and co-wrote and co-produced Face to Face on their Discovery album. I'm very thankful for Daft Punk. They've definitely been critical in my career. This has happened to me sometimes. Did it the volume? Which singers would you like to work with? I think song could be cool. Weeknd's got a great voice for sure. I honestly, I used to I wanted to work with Bjork. She got a little left field for me. I love the voice of Imogen Heap. I think she's brilliant. I wanted to work with Sia because I love the positivity that she put into her music and what she's been through. I'm pretty open, I love working with female vocalists. I'd like to actually develop, younger artists and develop my sound into someone else's vocals, I got you. Well, I was just glad to play the We Out There Festival. People were wonderful. I made some new friends. It just goes by so quickly. Yeah, I love Imogen Heap. She's just great. Did you reach out to Bjork? I didn't. Is Bjork making a comeback? I think Bjork just does whatever the hell Bjork wants to do. I don't think she cares. Like, I'm sure she's rich enough. That's the one, you got to admit, that's the one good thing about being a very successful, both financially and critically, an artist. You can do whatever the hell you want. And it, you know what I mean? Like, you know, oh, maybe that's what it was, the noise restrictions. Is that a nod to look into me for more of your samples? No, I honestly have not sampled Imogen Heap. The only thing I ever did with Imogen Heap was that bootleg remix using the music from 15 Minutes, and I put Headlock over that. Try to do something with Aurora, that would be for sure. I love, what's her name? Oh, God, I'm so terrible with remembering names. And I've been listening to her album over and over again. Amber Mark. Amber Mark, I just love her album. Like this R&B, you know, but like soul, like gorgeous voice. I love her lyrics and the vibe. Thank you, David Ryan. TikToker. Wait, it's funny. I have no right to do it, but I always wanted to do like some joke, joke post on, you know, on like Insta or something. Be like every Bjork song over the last 10 years, and just like slam my fingers on like a child's like old like toy piano, because like every song she uses just sounds just like using these elements that are like, you know, it's so out there. It's like, please give us some more dance music, like just a little bit of post or debut, like, you know, just something, or even homogeneous, like something off of that. I loved Medulla, I think it was Medulla, where she just used all vocals. Wait, do I ever play the chant live? No, I mean, like, well, I had my singer, my friend Tashi Kondali sang the vocals, and I'm going to start putting a live show together where I'll be playing on keyboard, doing samples. So maybe I'll incorporate that and do the steel drum thing, which I worked really hard to make those steel drums sound like real steel drums. Like I layered two sounds and tried to play it in such a way that it didn't sound synthetic. Biggest piece of advice I could give to young producers, for me, is to focus on not, you know, and I struggle with this too, because it's very easy to want to just focus on being popular. Like developing your own sound, or having your music have its own personality, is important, I think, for longevity. You know, some people can have one hit record and then they're like, you know, they're going to be touring and playing festivals and stuff. I mean, I think it's a smaller handful of people that get to that point. But for me, what's kept me here this whole time is, I think that it's safe to say that the quality of my work never diminished. It might not always hit number one or resonate with everyone, but you can guarantee if you pick up a track that I've done, you can hear that I've put my heart and soul into it. And I try to add my own personality into that music. Also, I used to want to quit every 5 minutes. Being in this industry takes an incredible amount of thick skin to persevere and push through the ups and downs. And also, if you get a first level success, that will not, it's so difficult to just stay at the top, and you have to be prepared for the ups and downs and the dips that you get, in being an artist, and no one never talks about that. No one gives a shit about talking about like the rough times of being an artist, or when things aren't going your way, you know? Have I ever heard 10 Ragas to a disco beat? No, I have to check that out. One day I'm going to ask Bjork about the dance album. Need a bit more courage. You know her personally? To young producers, don't do this for money. Well, I mean, the thing of it is the money thing will come if you're focused on making good work, wow. It's a small place. So you ever see her out and about, Bjork? You're welcome, Noik, if I'm saying that correctly. Get the heck out of here. Are you taking the piss? Are you really? Hi, D3 Robot. Is it Die Roboter? What's up? The AI thing, I mean, I have mixed feelings about AI with making music. I think that, there's going to be people that are going to listen to it and be fine with it, because I think music has been dumbed down and people are programmed to not expect much more than a catchy groove and a gimmick in music. Big fan, would love to have a chance to DJ with you. Nice to meet you, Mr. Reflex. Hello, Seeds. The thing about with AI, there are people like, I think that expect more from music. Like I've had people say like, your music got me through rough times. I think people need to feel a connection to other people that are artists. So I don't think anyone's going to go to chat AI or like chat, whatever the chat bot, and be like, you know what, your music got me through a rough time, because it's a robot, it's an AI. You'd enjoy the weirder AI output. No, of course, I'm not saying I'm not into like adapting AI, and everything can be a good tool to use. I mean, TikTok's a tool. You know what I mean? Like I was very reluctant to start with the TikTok thing, and now I'm obsessed with it. Maybe a little too addicted to it, but people think computers and synths would kill real music. AI won't ruin. No, I don't think it's going to ruin music. Wait, feel it a sample and get really glitchy shit. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think again, you either adapt or you don't adapt. But the point being is, I don't think AI is going to be able to completely, take over the music industry, in that you're not going to have humans. I think people need to relate to people. I think it'll be a little scarier if AI starts to like able to emulate like an old Stevie Wonder track, like, some really organic, soulful, analog sounding music. Like when it gets to that level, I might be a little more afraid. Love you too, Reese. I'm going to sleep now. Okay, well, Lee, it was great to talk to you. Hopefully I'll see you again online. I kind of do this randomly, but the next step is I want to set up to start doing DJ sets like once a week in my studio. So that might be the thing to do, DJ for half an hour and then talk for half an hour or something like that. Podcast appearances. I mean, I'm open to podcasts. I turned 18 last week. Wow. Happy birthday, 18. Damn, that's a long time ago for me, buddy. But I'm glad I'm sure Carl Craig killed it. Get label out of the. Yeah, for sure. Do me a favor, Noik. Send me a direct message if that's possible. Can you send me a direct message? And I will give you an email to send me music. Amazing. London. When's the next time I'm gonna be in London? Yeah, because I was just at 51st State. Probably, I gotta see. It might be back over in October. Shut the Door next. Hey, I could do the Shut the Door disc next. I have to dig that one out. So it's fun to do the sample reveals, Yeah, if forgive me if I'm saying your name wrong, Noiki or Noik. One new message. If you can't, well, we'll have Daniel. We'll have some fun with the Shut the Door thing. Would you ever release face-to-face? I would be happy to release the face-to-face garage mix, but I would have to speak to Tomas and Guimon and get their permission to do that. It's not something I would ever just do. And I'm not sure if it's something they'd be up for me doing, especially because it's like I'd have to dig out, because I never really knew how to mix down at the time that I did that. 14 years old, use the Rinse As I Am track. Oh, very cool. Mr. Reflex, if you want the vocal mix of As I Am, I can send that to you, because I did like my own version of the vocal mix years later. Any recommend label for submitting garage tracks to A&R? I know Point Blank is a kind of a cool little label to send garage to. My friend Dean Big Man Ferguson is can do it. You love a sloppy mix. That there weren't any ways from Ram. I mean, I think you would still be able to sing? I sing face to face every time I play out, actually. In fact, I want to make more songs people know so people enjoy other songs that I sing out. I'd love to hear some of the Odyssey discs too. Yeah. And then definitely, the thing of it is like, it's hard in this day and age, like when you're releasing, if you reveal samples, like you're kind of making yourself vulnerable a little bit. But, I do love sharing the samples because it's fun to do that, But do you think you're able to release full I Love My Cyan song as a dub, maybe because of cover? Oh, I mean, Cyan's not even a company anymore. But I didn't realize how much you guys love the track. Like I said, I'm re-releasing my new label, so I can release that myself because it's not on. It never came out on Defected. You sold your Cyan. So did I. My 2008 Cyan finally kind of conked out. I love that car. Track. I might be as well. Yeah. Listening with it might be. I did cheat a little bit and kind of auto tune it with. It wasn't actually auto tune, but I used a Roland module that actually helped me to play it on the keys to just tighten the vocals much quicker. Yes, I would love to produce on video game. To do music on video game. Which game? Not sure. It's hard for me. I haven't really been a big video gamer lately. I do have an Oculus Quest. I love VR. Yeah, I was proud of I Might Be. Fortnite. That'd be cool to get involved with that. What vocalist inspired your singing? Sounds 70s. So, I mean, yeah, a lot of people kind of reflect like the Steely Dan and Michael McDonald. I didn't really know. I didn't really have a voice per se, a definite voice, because I do impersonations as well. Like if you listen to the Odyssey album, like I did a lot of different voices. They honestly was sampling. Maybe. I think microsampling is much easier to get away with. I was very fortunate, back in my early days. I definitely sampled bigger chunks, and I get people. I mean, good to hear. The fan mate. Wait. Are you really, TG? Okay, listen. I gotta sit down. I heard about that while I was on tour this 3 weeks. I want to sit down and listen to the full on Volume 5 fan thing, because it sounded good. Just skimming through it sounded good, and I want to definitely check it out. Kudos on the originality of doing that. I have I'll have some artists that are like some people like you made Mr. Todd Edwards 6000. Thank you about the Alabama Blues remix. That's how Daft Punk became aware of my music, was through that remix. But some people be like, oh, I love his older stuff better. It's like, I miss that old, I can't go back to doing things, the way I used to do it. It's like, I mean, aside from evolving, you have to be careful with what you sample these days, I'd love to work with you on a singer-songwriter from London here. Oh, well, Jess, like I said, can you hit me up? Well, if you can't direct message me on here, direct message me on my Instagram, Todd Edwards 3000. And I'm glad you liked Tomorrow. And I'm very thankful I got to work with Kim English on that, have her sing it. And I basically, I was proud of that work because I basically made a disco track that I heard in my head, and I was able to manifest that through samples, which is not an easy thing to do. Nothing yet for Mexico, but I think that will change over the next year for sure. Would you love to hear your sound mixed with the new generation? Well, I mean, here's the thing. I have a collaboration coming out with Salute. Sam Verji is such a sweet guy as well. I got to see them both in Croatia. I've been putting it in Sam's ear to Sammy Verji to do a collab, and he's up for it for sure, but he's been busy as well. Salute's been very busy on tour, but it's, things just take a little time. You need to reach out to Jesse Ware for some remixes. Yeah, I mean, I know, I'm like acquaintances with Jessie, and I did a remix for her before, and I definitely love the Miracle samples through your 90s stuff. Thank you. Thank you, Daniel. Did you know that your grandfather apparently thought Full on 5 was a real? Wait. If my grandfather left a message about Full On, I'd be very impressed if he left a message, because he's been dead since I was in 5th grade. Both of them, both my grandfathers. So if they are leaving messages from beyond the grave, that would be very impressive. Nicaragua. I've heard about Nicaragua. I know that DJ Falcon actually goes, I remember he would surf in Nicaragua. I've never been to Nicaragua before. Check out the Factory Synth plugin. I'm not a Factory Synth plugin. Okay. Which Factory Synth? I got to check it out. I'm not educated on what that is. Dear Salute, play it at Hotel this year. Yeah, for sure. It's if everything goes well, it's supposed to be for his album. Oi, if you're not a chat boy. Wait, what is a chat boy? What is a chat boy? Like, it seemed legit. Your album was from a Micmac sampler and earlier. From a Micmac sampler, I sampled a Mixmag sampler. Oh, okay. I was like, what's a Micmac sampler? Bad Lose. My sister is 9 years older than me, so I would always follow her musical influences. So she was into disco and 80s disco, so I was always following that stuff. And I was like, as a kid, like little kid, like 2-3 years old, I was always like writing stuff. And it's funny because I used to live on a street where I had like older friends, and they were all into rock music. And I, as a kid, I was like 4 or 5 years old, I would just be singing like out loud, just making lyrics up. And I remember my one friend said, he's like, you listen to too much disco. And I'm like, that's not a disco track. I made that up. So it's like, I guess it was meant to be that I started young. It's a really unique sample combo thing, unlike anything else. Factory Synth. Is it can you make the Dougal? Woman Child. It's funny? I don't even have the original digital version of the Woman Child. I think I still have it on vinyl, but that's going to give me an excuse to go through my old vinyl, find the damn thing, and I could always boost it and then put it out on digital. I'll probably I would give it away because I don't have access to release it officially. I start with in Ableton. I'll use the drum rack, and I'll play the samples MIDI wise that way, and then I will I'll freeze the tracks and flatten them to audio. So and then I'll do like I'll EQ them from there. And unrelated to music, as a fellow Jersey kid, do you ever miss Wawa? Well, I'll tell you what, Wawa was more of a South Jersey thing. North Jersey is like totally like 7-Eleven and Quick Check. In a couple Spotify snippets so you can hear my sound. Okay, cool, Jess. That's great. I'm always looking to work with vocalists. What inspired you to make the Next to You video? Well, the thing of it is I guess it was partially inspired by early work on Photoshop, not realizing that there was probably those effects in video editing software. So I thought I was doing something so creative and innovative what I did was run every friggin' frame through Photoshop to do all those effects. That was all Photoshop. And then didn't have the common sense to realize, well, you can probably do this nowadays you can just put on a friggin' filter to make yourself look animated. But you know what? After all the love I put into that video, do you know what I did forget to do? Is I could have made it look even better if I didn't have it, put a blank frame every so often to make it look more like older film instead of digital video. It's like all the detail, and I overlooked the one major thing. I have it on vinyl, but need a digital copy. You can just send. I definitely will send it to you. You just have to reach out to me and keep reminding me. You still have the Peter Brown? I might. I know I sold off a lot of my catalog. I mean, not my catalog, of a lot of my old records. But to me, it's like I'm not very nostalgic or like religious to vinyl. To me, a wave of something. I don't care what. To me, I live in an apartment in LA, so space is important. So I'd rather just have the track, whether it's on vinyl. Got the third thing I talked. Got the third thing I talked about. Almost finished. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. The one email that I can say publicly is I have. If you want to send it and make sure I got it, it's Todd Edwards promos @gmail.com. Like that's my public send promos in. If that's easier for you. What are your favorite records you've ever made? Thank you. Yeah, I promise I'll be down to Mexico, Alex. What's the favorite record you've made? I would say like Shut the Door. I'm very happy. The As I Am remix. It was fun. The one thing about the early days of making music, it's like a one part talent, one part ignorance, and just like stumbling in the dark to make stuff. Being 50 and having much more understanding of music, it's you really have to challenge yourself to think outside the box, because it's very easy to just default to your formula. Artists always look back and think they can do better. Yeah, no, I mean, it's true. Well, it's funny because there's some tracks that people love that I'm like, oh, that sounds like shit. I'm like, into it. Nice. Yeah, Shut the Door. Show me something. Oh, I gotta plug my phone in. Hang on. There we go. So make sure. Okay. How long have I been talking for? What time is it? Good hour. You are my generation. I turned 50 in Feb. 50, baby. Yeah. Good times, 50. I'm falling apart. You look so young on the outside. Woodsy K, what's going on, bro? Been looking for that sound for. I had a blast in Manchester. Like you're 41 and dying. Yeah, I know the feeling, bro. I got type 2 diabetes. I take more drugs. Like I should. It's crazy the amount of pills I have to take. But I'm still here. The first record of yours I heard was "Guide My Soul Back in the 90s." Thank you. Yeah, it was like I said. It's like the earlier stuff was all about just trying to experiment and not knowing what direction you're going into, and just I'm thankful that it worked. It could have equally not have worked, right? I mean, like, I'm sorry to hear that, Anil. I know it's a pain in the ass. I mean, my sugar, I didn't even want to test it this week because like it was hitting like 300s. It's I was very fatalistic about how long I was going to live. Oh my God. How are you, John and Laura? Hobnob. You're going under Hobnob these days. How are the kids? One day I'd love to come out and visit. And I'm sorry that I haven't done that yet. You know me. You've known me for years. John Liu basically did the Todd Edwards fan website for many, many years. And I have a lot, I'm very thankful for that because, he kept people informed about everything that I was doing, because Lord knows I wasn't really doing my own website. So I always appreciate him, and he is still around checking things out, which I'm happy about. And he's got 2 lovely kids and a beautiful wife. 27. I'm already starting to feel like, yeah, it starts at 25. 25 is when things start to go downhill. Yeah. Thank you, TikToker. I'm doing the best I can. We got good genes in my family, so hopefully that'll help. Yeah, I can imagine. I'm just hoping, and I've been saying it for years, John, I just it would be great, to have the power to just say, I could just take a break in between gigs and travel and spend a ton of money to just go visit people, because you are definitely on the list of people that I would just love to visit. But I love seeing the pictures of the kids on Facebook, and I'm really happy that you're living your best life. And it does. The thing about I love Facebook has the ability to keep you in the loop with people's families, even if you don't get to check up on them to see photos, and it just feels like you're not as distant as you are. It came from Birmingham to London that first time you came to see. Oh, no way. That's really cool, Yeah, Scart. Of course, Daniel knew what his original name was on social media and friggin' the website. Ooh. Well, I've had a boyfriend for 9.5 years, and he watches the bunnies, and he's very, cool with me traveling. When we both go on, not that we really take vacations, but when we both are traveling, bunnies and boarding, which is friggin' expensive. It literally can cost for a week or so, $500, which is, but it's kind of cute that they actually have bunny boarding in LA. I'm thankful for that, because I don't really have a lot of friends out in LA to come in and, watch my shit. Bought a single copy, Fly Away from You. Another. Thank you, Nell. Yeah, Fly Away was a special one too. Yeah, I don't know if the bunnies would be able to handle the travel, because they're stressed out people. They need Xanaxes. Even if I take them in the car to go to boarding, they're shaking like a leaf. Actually, their user 85385 whatever. There is I think I got a gig lined up for Germany soon. I'm not sure when it is, but I just spoke to my manager about that. I love coming to Germany. I love the German crowd. Thank you. And the thing about Fly Away, Neil, it was I had just gotten the Roland 1080. So I had, before that, I had no real sounds. It was all samples. And to have a plethora of organ sounds with effects and stuff. So I had a blast making tracks with the 1080, and Fly Away was one of the first ones. I'm not quite sure which city in Germany just yet, or I mean, if it's Berlin. But it's another cool club because my manager said it's kind of like a Bergheimish type of club, like really one of the prestige ones. So you should do more keyboard solos in your music, like with how you did "Fly Away" and "Through the Pain." I'll keep that in mind to do that, Todd. I always used to say you were the DJ premier. Thank you, Anil. I mean, he's an epic sampler, so it's like I'm happy to take the compliment. Wow, this is the most quiet I've been in like the last hour. There was a stop in the questions. What have I been listening to lately? Wait, you need thank you, Anil. Any advice for producers entering the profession? Okay. First of all, listening. It's funny. I listen to music therapeutically lately more than I listen to it for just regular pleasure. But an album that I've been on for the last couple months is Amber Mark's 2022 album, Foreign Things. Or not, no, three. Sorry, I'm terrible with names. Three Dimensions Deep. She's like a soul singer, R&B singer, amazing voice. And then like when I started this tour 2 weeks ago, this is going to be weird, but there's this movie from 2009 called The Box, and it's got a really weird soundtrack, but I friggin' been listening to it. It's just been like certain albums or certain things that I cling on to just make me feel relaxed. And so, yeah. And any advice, Bad Lose, any advice for producers entering the professional world? Again, don't expect, I mean, like, you know what? It might happen quickly, but it might not. You have to persevere and be able to have a thick skin to make music. There's a lot of people putting out music every day, so it's hard to have things run as quickly as they used to be, because it's like, getting noticed, especially if you're self-releasing. But I would definitely, again, if you're making music, imitation is how usually people start, and then you try to incorporate your personality into it. I think is important. Give something that no one else is giving, because everyone is, if you go on Spotify and you listen to how much every track kind of sounds alike, I mean, there's some standout stuff, but there's so much stuff that just sounds like every other track. So giving a signature, something that's identifiable, is definitely something to shoot for. Marion, what's going on, bro? Many years. Our fan on here there. Feel you working more for your work on face to face. It's not that I feel like I should be what do you call it, that I'm not recognized on face to face. I think at the time it wasn't as, like there was no like show of like, featured artists the way they did with Ram. So it's like there are people that are like, I didn't know it was you. I did post the face to face sample video because a lot of people do go like, oh my God, Daft Punk's were geniuses for what they sampled for face to face. And I'm like, that's my sample bank for the most part. So I'm like, and I wasn't like pissed off about it, but I'm like, I think I could self promote on this a little bit, and, nonsense. I was just curious. Sorry, I had to take I had like a brain like freeze for a second. Like, is that like Madion? If you're there, are you the Madion? If I'm saying that correctly, I'm sorry, but I just wanted to acknowledge you if that's the case. I'm like running through this quickly. I'm like, wait, hold up, reverse. There were 70 in the track. Dude, the funny thing is like I've done samples like Face to Face had a lot. Like it's so hard to remember where samples come from, and also respect for. Hey, I'm so glad that you joined the live. How are you, brother, Madion? Amazing. Sorry, I'm rambling here, bro. Where's sample on the Insonic sampler? No, the Carpenter sample thing I did on, I believe, the S3000, because I had to use, was it the S3000? Yeah, I think it was the S3000 because I had to do time compression. You know, you kids got it easy with the time compression. You just put it in we can put it in Ableton now and do it in like 2 seconds. Literally, for a sample, you'd have to run it through the time compressor, or, you know, stretcher or shrink it, and it literally would take a couple minutes to do it. And then there was different settings, so it could do it well, it might not do it well. It was a pain in the butt. I use Reaper rather than Ableton. I'll check Reaper out. I'm completely content with the Able time stretching. Oh, that means a lot, Madion. That really does mean a lot. My thing is like I try not to. I'm not living in the past. I'm thankful for what I've accomplished, and I'm thankful that I have an audience. Oh, it's a pleasure. I love talking. Like anyone that John knows me, John Liu, your song. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. Coconut thing. My thing is I'm thankful for the past. I'm thankful that there's legacy there. But as an artist, my focus is on creating. That's the most enjoyable thing. Yeah, I mean, I would love to do a track with Armand. I saw Armand down in Florida a few months ago when I was DJing down there, and he gave me a lot of nice compliments. He was also drunk, you know, off his ass, but I did reach out to him afterwards, and he never responded back. So, you know, people are, you know, I understand. I'm flaky too. Like, you know, like so I still have, like, sometimes I'll have like 10 messages that I haven't responded to on my phone, and you know. I have no idea how to do that. To like a live. Whoa, John, you're showing your age. To like a live, you just have to tap the screen, I think. Yeah, see, I'm doing it now. Just tap the screen. Tap it a lot. That's so funny. Double tap my face. It's you punching me in my face. The actual Doobie Brother. Sorry. Well, I'm 42. I'm 50, bro. You can't compete with me. I'm the oldest person in this room right now, which is kind of scary. Anyway, but John, I'm so glad you're here. It's like, you know I'm way overdue for catching up, but you know what it's like. So. Love your recent works, Todd. Love the new drink. Yeah, thank you, Daniel. Like I said, my thing is it's really funny is like some people will hear a track and be like, oh, that sounds new. And then like I might do a track and people like says, oh, that reminds me of your old stuff. And honestly, I'm just doing me. Like it isn't really I'm not sitting down going like I'm gonna, like don't get me wrong. Granted, I'll try to experiment and explore. but it's not like I'm deliberately trying to, be futuristic or be retro. Like, I mean, sometimes I think the last thing I did was the what was the last remix I did that I deliberately tried to be more old school with the approach. Why am I'm like forgetting the name and I just remixed it. My brain is shot, people. Hang on. Night Shift, that remix Night Shift, which is it was like I specifically tried to give it a shuffly kind of like Todd Tough Jam feeling. Bad Lose, thank you. I'm Fragments of Time was a very obviously inspirational track to me, and working with them that time actually inspired me to move out to LA. So that makes me feel good. Bad Lose. I like listening to the final product moved me as well, because it really, like I said, working with them the first time on Face to Face was epic and such an adventure. And the second time changed my life because I'm in a completely different place. I'm the most confident I've been and happiest I've ever been in me, What do you think of producer Gary Essen? He is a friend of mine. Gary Essen is an amazing producer. GE, like I said, like I think he's one of the people that does one of the best jobs of emulating the Todd cut up sound. And I think, I think he's he flies under the radar more than he should. Like I think he's extremely talented, and I wish he would get more attention. But I also think that one of the things to do is, like I'm all for like people that sound like me, but I also think that that could also be not detrimental, but could take away, because it's like, like again, imitation is a good place, like exploring and getting more, something unique that makes you sound a little bit different. Take for instance, One Dark Martian. His sound can sound very much like mine, but he adds like a synth vibe to it that changes it, makes it his own character. That's just my opinion. Thank you, Zach. Yeah, I'm very happy with the Disclosure remix, and thank you, DJ Lawrence. DJ Lawrence, deep inside. Thank you, Vitsi. Great job. I've got a message from TikTok. It's like, great job. You've been on live for 90 minutes. Don't forget to take a break. Like there's some like person monitoring me going. Oh my God. Hang on 1 second. Sorry. My mom's sending me a message. Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, I'm Son in Your Life and Darlin. I'm really excited about releasing stuff on my label. My friend AJ said hello. Hi, AJ. Looking forward to the Mass Tempo. Yeah, the Mass Tempo. Skepta and Jamma did like an epic job on the remix. That makes me happy, Sindra Potet. And forgive me if I'm saying your name wrong, but I appreciate your compliment. Thank you, Anil. I didn't swear for 90 minutes. There was a couple in there. I'm wondering if that, like, why did the last live I did, I got cut off and was suspended for a week, and I have no clue. And it was like for hate speech. And like, what did I say? I was nerding out about music. When are you next in the UK? I think October. Yeah, exactly. Doobie Brothers. But cursing is allowed on TikTok, so I don't understand. Thank you, Pablo. You can send demos to toddedwardspromos@gmail.com. Classic wax. Besides this, I just picked up. You know what? I don't know, because I really, Zach, I don't really buy vinyl. It's funny. It's like I don't even have Sure Thing on digital. Like I literally have to go bust. And thank you for the reminder, because I need to go bust out my vinyl, record it, and do a quick remaster of it. Thank you, Anil. Thank you, Zach. Yes. I've actually, wait, you want to hear something funny? There have been times where I've ripped tracks from YouTube and played them out. I'm like, screw it. It's like, there's a quality sound. It sounds good enough, Who wants to start EDM? Don't do it. No, just kidding. I guess EDM, like if you're talking about the harder stuff, is not me per se. So I don't know what advice I would be able to give you, but like it's kind of the same advice across the board. Is adding originality is the way to have longevity. I think 10 of us producers are guilty of ripping things off of YouTube. Oh, I agree, Daniel. No worries on the name. It's Norwegian, so I don't expect people to get it. I'm terrible with names, even when they're, regular American names. So it's great, but can't beat a traditional Todd MP3 collections. Oh, well, I mean, the thing is I don't, John, if you've been keeping up with stuff, I got stuff I could send you. I mean, like there's things you don't have unless you've been collecting them. But like definitely some of the unreleased stuff too. I produced hip hop for 10 years, but you and your technique inspired me to start making garage. Oh, that's really cool. E30. The thing of it is I think the thing about garage and house is, even in different genres, like there's overlap as to what makes it appealing. I've had people that were into rock music say they got into my music. So. Well, thank you. I'm going to definitely do more lives. I probably should like take a break because it has been like almost 2 hours. I do love doing this, and I needed I'm alone at my manager's house, and it's been kind of a bit of a rough day. Not rough day, just got some news that's been kind of stressful. Oh, by the way, that Timbaland style remix to Save My Life was wicked. Thank you. It was fun. I love the challenge of like trying to sound like Timbaland or the Neptunes. I've done that, tried that too. Still two of the best production groups. I mean, Timbaland did amazing work. Are you inspired by a lot of hip hop producers? Aside from, honestly, Timbaland was the biggest one, and Neptunes. Seeing Kenny Dope's approach to drums was another big thing. Then I saw your Red Bull and yeah, Kenny Dope is, to me, he's the top of the tops. I still, I've talked to him about like collaborating with him. He kind of intimidates me. He's just got that, Brooklyn vibe. And I'm like, I should reach out to him to work with him. And I'm like a little intimidated. This has been a treat to we'll look for. Yeah, I will. I'm going to hopefully start being more regular, and maybe I could start planning out times to do these lives, maybe once a week. Where are the best places to send you tunes, man? So I have my email, toddedwardspromos@gmail.com. So that's going to be the thing. So anyway, all right. Well, I think it's time for me to go chill and waste some time in front of the television. Know about Kenny Dope until I heard Providence. Well, you know what it is? Wait, just want to say, it's like without. Well, Todd Terry is the original Todd the God, and he's the reason I have an original sound, because I heard his stuff and wanted to make my own original sound because I love the fact that he had an original sound that was great. And, 100%. Thank you, E30. So, but you all have a wonderful night. The one thing when I get back to LA, I'm going to set up so I could start doing DJ sets for my studio on TikTok. Your artist pick on Spotify. Yeah, Mystic H. All right. Mystic H is my boyfriend. He's an amazingly talented musician, and I'm helping to try to help start his career. He does do electronic, a hybrid of electronic, indie rock, and he's also got a dance swing to it. So it's like, for me, it's a labor of love, and it's not just like, partner because he's my partner. I really believe in his talent, his voice, and, I wouldn't be working with him if I didn't 100% believe in him. I try not to bring up the personal connection because I don't want people to think it's nepotism. It's just, he's just doing it because, together. I really believe in the work, Thank you, Daniel. Crystal Force. No, but Crystal Force. I got to go back and listen to that now. Thank you. You were playing some fire. What did you? Oh, dude, that night was amazing. Like the 4-hour back-to-back. Q's an amazing DJ. There's people that DJ, and then there's people that fucking DJ. Oh, John, I cursed. I did it. The name is missing in the artist pick. I'll have to go check that. What's going on with that? Yeah, I haven't called Matt from Tough Jam in a while. EZ, you need to shine the bat signal to get in touch with him. John. Yeah, I would love to see you in London. All right, I could talk forever, so I got to cut it off. So listen, you all have a great night. John, let's talk on a more personal level than on a TikTok live. Give my love to Laura. And like I said, I would love to catch up with you both and to maybe FaceTime, see the kids. Love that type of stuff. So, Anil, good night. All of you, love you all. And thank you for listening to my ramblings for the last almost 2 hours. So have a good night, guys. Take care.